I hope you're ready.
This is Unbridled Thoughts.
We want to hear what you have to say.
Welcome back to Unbridled Thoughts. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Ren, and you better grab the mane because there are no reins at Unbridled Thoughts.
I am so excited about today.
I know we
and
do.
who we're interviewing. We have Leif Phillips with us today. He is the owner of Evolve. And Leif, we're going to let you take the microphone. Tell us about your business.
Oh, girl, that's dangerous. My name is Leif. I am the owner of Evolve Holistic Studio. Evolve is a very different type of business. So we're a holistic co-working space. Mm-hmm. You may have seen like co-working spaces for like businesses. A lot of life insurance agents use them, like graphic artists, just like solo people use co-working spaces. But there's not really anything for holistic practitioners, right? Mm-hmm. So if you don't, like, a holistic practitioner can be anyone from a massage therapist to a stretch therapist to a therapist that is specialized in holistic coaching. Yeah. And really there wasn't a space for us to be and really to develop your brand and to develop your client base, right? So that's kind of where Evolve came to be, where we don't have to pay a large amount of rent because you don't have the client base yet, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so we charge per session, which makes it a lot more affordable for the practitioners, where if they're not making money, we're not making money. Right. And a big thing that we do is social media marketing and helping them establish that, because I wasn't comfortable doing social media.
Yeah,
whenever
me neither.
I first started, I didn't even, of course I did my little selfies, right? And my little thirst traps out there. But, as far as talking and, putting myself out there and what my services are, I didn't know where to even start. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't say embarrassed. I was just scared to put it out there.
Yeah.
Because,
I feel that.
Who's going to judge you? Who's going to, come for you because you're brand new and you might have said one thing wrong and now the whole internet's coming after you. But I've actually, that's something like social media is something that I've learned to enjoy a lot more. And I help my people establish their social media presence, and they'll go from 200 views to 6,000 views.
Yeah.
Nice.
They'll go from 56 followers to 600 followers in a month, So I like what I do.
Yeah, you're good at it too. And just since I feel like I've gotten to know you and we've gotten closer, I've seen you even grow even bigger. You're getting bolder, you're getting braver, you're getting stronger out there with your social media presence, and I love it. You inspire me all the time. I'm like, okay, I need to
step it up.
If Leif can do it, I can do it.
We love your style too, your social media style, because it's it shows an array of what all you do, but also it's fun, and it's engaging and quick and just shows perfectly your personality,
and
especially if they know you.
100%
your multiple
authentic.
personalities, though, too.
My several personalities. The good, the bad, the thirsty. But I've started to enjoy it, and I really if it makes me laugh on TikTok, love TikTok. Yeah, I'm gonna try to recreate it. Yeah. And I'll spend hours doing it.
I love that.
Deleting it.
Redoing
it. Deleting it. And then if I have some alcohol in me, I'll just post that shit. So yeah.
I love this. You sound like my voice in my head, but you escape from my body. Literally everything I think about with posting on social media, you literally just said everything that runs through my mind. I'm like, oh my God, this feels so good to know that somebody else felt this way,
And what I've noticed, and I don't know, I follow a lot of influencers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The way you get the views and the way that you grow your following is you have fun with it and you just be your authentic self.
Yes.
Don't try to be someone that you're not. And that's something that me, just in my general life, the past few years, is that I've been trying to come into that and not try to be someone else. Right.
I mean, I think like, and this has been a conversation we've had in other little discussions that we've had, other podcasts, is that with AI taking over, I think more and more people are really craving the authentic person,
true connection,
you know, and who you are. And I mean, when we were growing up, when I was young, I'm older than you, all of you, except for him. But he don't count. He's not on the microphone.
LOL.
He counts. That was mean of me. I didn't mean to say it like that. That's not what I meant. But it was like a Stepford wife kind of thing. You know what I mean? Everybody was supposed to fit in a box. And now I think we're just kind of blowing that box open.
And like what you see on, like, I don't know, a few years ago. So I guess I'll rephrase it. So whenever I started doing social media, I was like, oh, I got to present my best self. I've got to be this corporate person that's like very dry.
Yeah.
I can't put certain things out there. And damn, I forgot where I was going.
Forget the
with this.
personality.
I forgot where I was going with that.
This happens to me all the time. We'll circle back around.
Yeah.
It'll come to you, and
Yeah.
you'll be ready for it again.
Right.
It's something. It's just the cross you bear when you're creative.
Yeah.
You know, just
Right.
like
Yeah.
50 delicious conversations happening all at one time.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, this is why I was so excited about this podcast, because it's like we just have such great chemistry, and it's like putting three little kids with ADHD together, and then we're like da 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 squirrel. Yeah.
Oh my God. Do y'all want a popsicle?
You can save
Oh.
that for later tonight.
Okay. I think, oh yeah.
Or is that a stretching you're gonna do to warm up?
Girl,
Or warm up?
it's gonna be a stretch I would do to warm up for later. Damn it! I forgot again. Got me thinking of other things.
Distracted. I get what you're saying
Yeah.
though. Like when you first get on social media, or even when you saw social media first come out, everyone's trying their best to show not only the best version of themselves, but they're trying to put something out that they think everybody wants to see. And so it gets harder, I think, for someone to make a true connection with you now.
Right.
But back then, when everyone was starting and it was kind of pioneering, it was like everybody was just trying to do the best they can.
Yeah.
Now you can kind of see where the ones that get the most follows, for the most part, are people that have really good information that they've researched, but also present it in a really entertaining way
Right.
and are engaging, or it's like hysterically funny.
Right.
You know.
Oh, it came back to me. So the good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So like everybody wants to see the good, but as a follower, as somebody that like is on social media and is looking at all these perfect things, perfection is not obtainable.
No.
Right? And like with me, I show the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like when I'm sad, I'll post something that's sad.
I know. I love that
Right?
about you.
But if there's something like but when I post something sad, like I always am like, okay, like this is the journey that I'm on right now, because no one's happy all the time.
No.
Right? And social media has it's definitely gotten to a point to where everybody's just trying to be perfect. And why are you trying to achieve something that's not attainable?
It's not only that it's not attainable, but it's like your version of perfect isn't going to fit somebody else's version of perfect. So you're trying to chase this chase that's like impossible. It's an impossible race that you're never going to win at.
Yeah.
So you may as well just go in who you are and I think that's kind of where we're starting to get. Like,
Yeah.
I think as a society as a whole, it's starting to get like, let's just be who we are and have fun with life. You know what I mean?
Because the sad shit's funny too.
Yeah. And I honestly went 43 years trying to be perfect because, you know, I had parents. I felt pressure to be perfect with my parents. And then I was in a marriage where I felt the pressure to be perfect. And then I was raising kids. So I felt the pressure to be perfect for my kids. You know what I mean? And you never are.
Right.
You're miserable. You're chasing something that you're never going to get.
Yep.
So when I walked away from the marriage and I had to reinvent myself and refigure out who I am, then it's like, you know what? Here I am. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right.
All of it. I'm here.
Amen.
So,
Hell yeah.
which I think is harder for Ren because she's a Virgo. And perfectionism is like their home state. That's their home planet. That's where they feel the most comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm
Right.
trying constantly to break her out of her box.
I'm
She's grown
doing
so much.
A lot better.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot better.
Yeah, and then
but
she
it
swims
was-
with a Gemini, and I'm like, I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a Sagittarius. I'm like,
We're
I'm gonna say what the fuck I want.
We said
Yeah.
this before the last time. We're sister
Yep.
signs.
And like we're totally compatible.
We're
Like,
totally compatible.
All of my exes are Geminis.
Yeah.
And they like I don't like them.
My first was a Sagittarius, and he's like
Bless your heart.
always been the one that the one that got away. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I feel that.
I've always felt connected. Like
Yeah.
the sex was always great.
Yeah.
The just the conversations too. It's just like you can say everything that you want to
Yes,
say.
yes. I remember when I was with my first, way back in when we were kids, and that was like the same. You know what I mean? That like the fiery passion between a Gemini and Sagittarius is like out of this world because
Right.
like air and fire is like, whew, hold on tight.
Yeah.
But that is also how I think like you and we just connected immediately. I was like, this dude is like my best friend. I love him.
Like the first time we met.
First time we met,
Yeah.
I was like,
And
did
was
I know
like,
you my whole life?
Let me tell you my whole life story. Everything about me. And then the next day we're talking about guys.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's why I say I love hanging out with you. We could talk about the 2Ds.
Same.
Drinking and D.
drinking and D's. What a great combination. What a great combination.
But I love, like she was saying, like it's growth, I think, happens in genuine relationships with like people who are very loving and supportive and like
Safe.
like a safe place, like just good quality people, like your support system and things
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
So,
If you don't have one, then like I remember not having one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that shit's scary.
Yeah.
We've all been there though.
Yeah.
We've all been there. I mean, thankfully, in this room, all of us present, like we have found each other and we feel extremely safe. I mean, you talk about things with us, you probably were like, I can't believe I'm telling these hoes this something that
Strangers.
no.
Right.
They don't even know me.
Yeah. They've known me for 2 minutes and now they know everything about me.
Yeah.
Trauma included.
Yes.
Like just trauma dumped everything on
Everything,
them.
everything.
And they're like, tell me more.
Tell me more. We love
Tell
it.
me more.
I want to know more. Can I
Right.
ask questions?
Absolutely.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right.
But yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself. Like, you kind of have a story, I feel like, which is a good story to tell into the world because you do have a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And people with a lot of trauma then can pick something out of it where I think they can see now that you've healed so much, you've
Yeah.
grown so much, it's made you who you are. So you gotta walk us through what you're comfortable with telling us.
Yeah. So if you can't tell by my voice, I'm clearly gay. Happy Pride.
Yes.
So I grew up in a very small town. I grew up Primitive Baptist, which
Yeah.
is different than Southern Baptist. Typically, there's no music.
Yeah.
You're sitting in a pew for an hour, and they believed in the chosen elect.
Mm-hmm.
So I forget what the number is. It's like the 144,000.
144,000, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And if you weren't a part of that chosen elect, you were going straight to hell.
Oh,
it didn't
man.
matter, even if God created you, like if you weren't part of that, you were going to hell. But we believed that we were the 144,000. So we were going to heaven.
Oh.
So grew up very religious. I read the whole, like, people don't believe me when I say this, but I read the whole Bible when I was a teenager, like
Yeah.
front to back. And honestly, that's given me a different perspective of what the Bible is.
Oh
right?
man, when I read the Bible front cover to cover, I read it Matthew to Revelation and then Genesis to Malachi, and I still prefer to do it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is just a love story.
It is, and it's a way, it's really trying to teach you, like, when you do good things will happen.
Yeah.
It's more about, like, how to treat people
Yeah.
and, like, how bad shit was back then, and a lot of it's just stories, right? Like, I mean, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, but, there's the the words in red in the Bible, that's what Jesus said.
Yeah.
Right. And so the only part of the Bible that I take literally is what Jesus said.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done the whole. Have you done the reading where it's all red?
Yeah. There's a book on it.
Yeah.
Like just Jesus's words.
Yeah.
And he never said anything crazy. He didn't stone people. Like he
taught the opposite.
He taught the exact opposite of what people interpret from the other scriptures.
Yeah.
Right? But also knowing that, like, I also know that everyone's walk is different.
Everybody,
right? It's a journey. And everyone's interpretation is different as well.
Yep.
So how I interpret it is going to be based off, and it's meant to be interpreted individually.
Yeah.
It's meant to be that way.
It is, because it's a personal love story.
Right. And so, anyways, got real off topic. Well, kind of on topic.
No. I love this. I mean, this is what I love, though, is that you're sharing all of who you are.
Yeah.
And even though you do have like religious trauma, you're not like holding that against God. You're moving on with your life. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know that people were being people-y because people are just people. And we mess up. And we're all sinners.
Right.
We all sin. And not any of us could really judge each other and call each other out for our sin.
Right.
We can all come together and help each other grow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because what's a sin for you may not be a sin for me.
Exactly.
You
well,
know?
It doesn't matter. Even if we all know it's a sin.
Right.
Sin.
Yeah.
Right? But in the Bible, it says all sins created equal.
Right.
So I can't judge your sin. You can't judge my sin. I can't judge her sin. She can't judge my. You know what I mean?
And at the end of the day, when we all are dead, you know, God's gonna make that decision.
Yeah, it's not even up to us.
It's not even up to us.
Yeah.
So why are we fighting?
Yeah, exactly. So I love that you're showing all sides of yourself. You know what I mean? Like that's
being authentic.
You're being authentic.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing to just hear your story and what you have to say. So this is a part of your story, and I love that. So we'll go back into it. You had the whole reading the Bible.
Had the whole reading the Bible. You know, it's made me like approach life a little differently. Like I didn't come out until I was 21. But growing up, everybody knew. Like I was bullied for it, and I was like, I'm not gay. And then
can't even imagine you trying to be straight now.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna turn my straight voice on. My name is Leif, and I like pussy. You're a man undressing in front of me. Get the fuck away from me. But no. Yeah, and like people were saying, "Oh, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay," and I was wondering why girls didn't want to go like talk to me like in a romantic way.
Yeah.
Why people didn't want to go to homecoming with me.
Yeah.
But I started realizing in like 10th grade that like, oh, I like boys. But even then I liked men. You know, like Zac Efron in the magazine with his shirt off and he had hair on his chest. Different than the High School Musical version of him, right? Yeah. I was like, So that magazine was under my bed. Sorry, Mom.
I just really like the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. The stories were great.
Quality writing.
Like, oh my gosh.
The article was very...
How to Get a Girl in 10 Days. That's what I was reading. But yeah, realized in 10th grade that like, oh, maybe I like boys, but I was still in so much denial. And I remember like telling my friends at we were eating lunch and we were band kids, right? So we talked about everything.
Yeah.
We were very gross and not gross, but like kinky. What happens at band camp stays at band camp.
I was gonna say, have you seen the whole American Pie? Like,
so yeah. So we were always talking, and I'm like, you know, I could totally like date a girl, but I think I would only want to have butt sex with her. And everybody was looking at me. They're like, "You're gay," and I was like, "No, I'm not." Didn't sound like I've always had a high pitched voice. But I was like, "No, I'm not. Definitely not that." So grew up a little bit. Came out when I was 21, but not by choice. My sister outed me. Because my mom and I were having a conversation. It was like my mom was yelling at me because of laundry or something. You know what moms do when you're a teenager. And then my sister comes out of nowhere because she's notorious for this. She's like, you don't even know if you like boys or girls. And I'm like, and I was just so fed up at that point. And this was when I was teaching. So we were in the middle of Phantom of the Opera musical at the school that I was teaching at. And I was so stressed. Like I was working like so many more hours than I was supposed to be working. And then like we're having this argument, and out of nowhere she says that shit, and I turn around and I'm like, you know what? I am gay. And I'm bawling tears, you know. And then I'm like, I'm gonna stay with my friend. So I ended up leaving the house and stayed with my friend that night. And my mom like texted me. She's like, do you feel better? I knew the whole time. And I'm like, okay, so you could have created an environment that
you felt safe.
that I felt safe in, right?
It's hard for moms though, because it's like, okay, there's a thin line between like encouraging something and then allowing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Making it safe. So it's hard as a mom. I've had 4 kids, and it was just like there were so many things I knew my kids were doing, and it's like so hard to create that like balance of like, okay, this isn't necessarily the vision I had for you. Right. I don't want to encourage it. I don't want to discourage it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, how do I go from here? How do I help? How do I guide?
And I know it was confusing for her, you know, but she also like. We were in the system for a minute when we were kids.
Yeah, you were telling us that.
Because so my father is an Aryan Brother, which is a terrorist organization. They do not like gay people. They don't like black people. They don't like Mexicans. If you're not of the white supreme race, they don't like you, and they will murder people. But he also sold drugs. But he had a cover up as a meat door-to-door sales business. And now that I look back at it, I'm like, how genius was that, honestly? Like door-to-door sales and then being able to like sell drugs. Like, so we had a house in like Illinois, we had a house in Minnesota, we had a house in Florida, and then we finally moved here, and that's when everything kind of caught up with him and my mom. My mom she swears to this day that she doesn't know that he was doing all that, but they were hardcore strung out on the drugs. I don't remember what drug, but we were in the system for a minute. My grandma had custody of us. So my mom hasn't always known really anything to say, and she carries a lot of guilt for that.
Yeah.
But now, like, as I'm older, I'm like close to my 30s now. She has, when I first came out, she was a little bit more like open to it. But now she has gotten into this church group that is like highly against it. And so she's against it. And like I asked her why, and she's like, well, I'm just telling you what the Bible says. And that's not something my mother would have ever said to me. Before. You know, and I'm like, and I asked her, I'm like, have you read the whole Bible? Front to cover? Front cover to back cover? She's like, no, only read parts of it. And I'm like, okay. Well, I've read the whole Bible, and I'm telling you that that's not what that's not what they're saying. And so anyways, I moved out around like 22, after I got my job at Geico. I was there for 6 years. And then I was let go. It was really toxic, though. And that's fine. But I had built a career. Like, I was making really good money without a degree, something that I never thought I was going to be able to do. Coming from, you know, nothing, literally. I had a beautiful loft, all these things. And so after that, I had to move back in with her. And it's so much more toxic now than it was before. Like, she's told me that, like, I've got a devil inside of me. all of these things. And she's like, you're just not the son that I know. And I'm like, you never really knew me. You know, like, I've had to hide myself from you for so long. You don't know who I am at all.
Right.
You know? And she's like, and I know that hurts. That hurts her. But also it hurts me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want nothing more than to go home to my mother and tell her about my day.
Yeah.
Or, oh my gosh, I'm talking to this guy and like I'm really liking him.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But I'm not allowed to talk about any of those things.
Right.
Whereas my sister can bring her boyfriend to dinner and all of these things.
Yeah.
And it's just whatever. So,
when you said it out loud, that one time, was it the first time that you knew in your heart, or when did you feel very confident that you were gay and attracted to men? Was like that the first time you admitted it to yourself, kind of?
No, like I knew for a long time, and all of my friends knew.
Yeah.
My employer knew.
Yeah.
But it was something that I just didn't feel comfortable telling to my family.
Yeah.
You know?
Because of the judgment.
Because of the judgment and
Yeah.
this, like, we were primitive Baptists,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, so it just, that wasn't, like, I never had an environment where I could say it.
Where you felt safe, yeah.
But I knew it. I probably knew, I mean, at least when I was 18.
Yeah.
You know, like I knew that
Yeah.
I liked the guys. And then I lost my virginity at 21. And I was like, yeah,
Definitely.
And then
Have you
I was
ever
like,
been with a woman?
never.
Okay.
Never. So I'm what we call a platinum gay. I was born by C-section. So I've never touched a vagina in my entire life. And that is totally okay with me. Totally okay with me. Because I mean, and I appreciate the woman. Like, I think y'all are beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, y'all do things, like, you can grow a whole fucking human inside of you.
Right.
Whereas a men, if we get a little kidney stone that we have to pass, we're in pain. Or
Yeah.
we get a cold, we're like, oh my God, I'm dying. Right?
Yeah. I
like,
can't imagine the house with two boys where it's like that, you know, two men, like, and you guys both get colds. Like, who's the baby?
Right. I'm going to be the baby. Point blank, period. You better bring me some chicken enchilada soup from the Mexican restaurant with some salsa to help get this cold, like, get rid of this cold, you know? Like, better turn my heating blanket on.
Big Daddy better be showing up.
He better. So, yeah, and, like, now I'm a lot more comfortable, especially like we were talking about social media earlier.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more comfortable displaying that, you know, just being comfortable about showing my authentic self.
Yeah.
And that includes me being gay.
Yeah.
Now, it's not my whole personality.
No.
Like, but
I mean, it's a part of who you are. I mean,
It is.
your personality is amazing on just the fact that you have an amazing personality. You know what I mean? Period. Okay? Because the first time I met you, you were trying to be very low key. Like, I was like, I think he's probably gay, but I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
No way.
Yes! You were being very serious.
I was being
like, very professional.
It was probably a business meeting.
Yeah, we went.
It
The
was.
first time we met. Yeah, remember it was
but
here.
you do have it was very interesting because you do have this aura. Like when I walked in, because, you know, we like reached out to you like, hey, like there's something happening here. There's something going on. This is so cool, this business. Right. There's something about you. We would love to like get together and chat and just kind of like, you know, bounce the ball. And I remember coming in this first time and seeing you, and you just had this like aura that was very like professional.
He put on his Geico face,
I
and
did.
You weren't not being yourself, but it wasn't like, it wasn't a protection. It was more like walking into a space and kind of creating an energy
Right.
where others are comfortable and
Yeah.
you're comfortable. If that makes sense.
Like any new interaction that I go into, I try to remain neutral because I want to figure out the other person first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that, of course, trauma my whole life I've had to develop as a skill. But I need to figure out if you're a safe space.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I think that's kind of everybody. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And when I come in, I have my professional face on. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
like I come in being all like crazy Sarah like I am.
Right.
You know, now I have no problem hanging out on your couch, feet up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
grabbing your blankets and just like cuddling up.
Let
and
me
just getting-
stretch you out.
And we got to know you. You got to know us.
Yeah.
Like the last few times we met. And then I kid you not, this time I sat in the same place I had the last 2 times, and I looked over at you, and in my mind I go, "Oh my God, there he is!" Like
Yeah.
I saw like the true, like
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
in your pure form,
Yeah.
like your truest form. And I
Yeah,
was like,
but you have such a beautiful personality, so I'm so glad we get to
Yeah.
see you at the core.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
let us in.
Yeah,
We get to see who you are.
And that's the thing, like, and a lot of people are like gravitated towards me. Like, I've had a lot of people that have been gravitated and just kind of drawn to me, but I can't reciprocate it because for me, like, discernment is hella strong.
Yeah.
Like me being able to tell, like, oh my gosh, this person wants me for a certain reason.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is because, like, my friend Amber and I, we had the same discussion a few weeks ago, like how people are attracted to us because they see the energy that we bring. And they either want to suck the life out of us or they want to get us for our contacts that we have.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because our energy is so intoxicating and like everybody wants to be involved, right? Like, and there's been a couple situations where I've just had to remove myself from a relationship, whether that be friends or, you know, romantic or business, anything, where I'm just like, okay, like you're using me for certain reasons.
Yeah.
And like I don't like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit right with me. And if I can't just be honest, if I can't be my genuine self around you, I don't want to be around you at all.
yeah.
I'm very much so like that, and we've had the same kind of situation. We've had the same conversations, you know, where there's people trying to come at us, and we're like, okay, what are their true intentions?
Yeah.
You know, and we have to pick. You know, I tell her the journey we're on right now. You know, we're catapulting ourselves. You're in the same journey with us. You know what I mean? And that's what, when we got together, it's like you could feel that energy.
Yeah.
You know, neither of us are trying to bring each other down. Neither of us are trying to pull things out and not give back.
And we
you
don't
know
see
what I
each
mean?
other as competition.
We don't see each other as competition,
Nothing
you
like
know,
that.
but we're all in that catapulting journey right now, and you have to guard your energy.
Yeah.
You know, I tell her that all the time. We have to be careful who we let into the circle because anybody can become dead weight to us.
Yeah, because whether you're manifesting the energy or you're alchemizing that energy, there's always going to be users.
Yeah.
Right.
But when you get people with good energy, they're alchemizing it and manifesting it in the same room with the same intentions, with the same goals. It just escalates. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like a little powerhouse, you know. And you're right, people are attracted to it. It's like a moth to a flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I like human design so much.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
To figure that stuff
Do you do
out.
leaves?
No, I should.
Oh.
Ooh, I might need to do yours, and then we can like put down the notes at the end of the show so people can see it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Are you okay sharing all that though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
cool. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, we'll
So,
do one when we get done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
Cool.
And it really helps you to what you're talking about. It really helps you to navigate it, especially if you've never heard about any of the things we're talking about right now.
Right.
Like if you don't have a reference to it, human design's like an awesome way to kind of see your version, like your little freeway
Right.
of where you need to be.
Hell yeah. Cool.
That's cool.
You better
So
be
like,
a Windows person. I need some Windows people in my life. Everybody's on your team, whatever you are.
Oh, I'm a Valley person.
A Valley, yeah. Everybody's a Valley person. She does it. She's like, oh, you're a Valley person like me.
Yeah.
I'm the only one with the windows and the walls.
to the window, to the wall. Sweat dropped down my balls. So yeah, so I've gone through a lot of
I
trauma.
knew if I taunted him just a little bit, he'd pick up.
Right.
Yeah, that's our energy.
That, I mean, y'all, it's so intoxicating. Like, we've definitely both got ADHD. So we talk about like 20 different things in the span of like 1 minute.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like that. Like,
Yeah.
she'll put something down, I'll pick it up.
Yep.
I put something down, she picks it up. You know?
Immediately, there's nothing. We don't even hesitate, and then we
Right.
can circle back right around where we were left off.
Period.
Here we are.
So circling back around. So I've gone through a lot of shit in my life. But the thing that I found like that has helped heal me, right? Like no one can ever heal someone else, right?
No.
We can hold space for that and we can help guide the person.
Yes.
But no one is responsible for another person's healing.
Right.
It's not
Amen.
possible. So a lot of the work that I've done does involve like the yoga. So when I was teaching, going through all of that shit, like coming out and stuff, I was going to a yoga class every Thursday. We called it Bad Bitches Club because it was all the teachers. We would all go to yoga and then we would have side porch time where we go smoke a cigarette after yoga.
I mean, full circle, really.
circle.
You got to bring it all around.
Period.
Yin and yang.
So did the yoga and I was practicing for about 10 years before I got my actual 200 hour, which is my foundational yoga teacher training. And that was during COVID. And then I was like, I love this so much. Like I was going to 3 classes a day, 2 of them being hot power, where I was sweating my balls off. And then one being an aerial yoga, one at lunchtime.
I want to do.
I know. So much fun.
It's going to be so much fun when Wellness Hug gets their rigs up. I'm so excited.
I'm going to put my big butt up there. I'm looking at a
Girl.
Christmas ornament. I'm just so ready.
Well, we love it.
Be the star at the top of the tree, girl.
Yeah.
With
With that red hair.
Yes.
Did my yoga, my foundational, then I did a stretch therapy certification because I liked the one-on-one better than the group setting. Like I've always had like social anxiety, especially with groups. Like despite what you may know of me now, like I have always had super high social anxiety to the point where I would throw up. Like I used to do this gagging thing, and I would literally dry heave.
I'm not going to go there.
My gagging nowadays is different.
Growth.
Gross.
No, growth.
No, it is. Oh, growth. Yeah, growth, baby. I thought you said gross.
No.
Sometimes it is.
No.
So I've always liked the one-on-one approach. So I went into stretch therapy, which is just a certification. I was like, oh, I've got to go to massage school. I've got to do all these things. But no, like there's nothing that you've got to do besides get a certification, which I liked because unfortunately I like taking the easy way out sometimes. So did that. And then I was like, oh my God, I really want to do more integration, right? So more coaching, like because talk therapy is hard. And a lot of times talk therapy keeps re-triggering you, right? You're talking about it over and over again every week. And what I've learned is that you've got to add movement to it. You've got to move the trauma out, essentially.
I agree.
So I found out about yoga therapy, which is an 800-hour course. And I was like, oh my God, like you go into nutrition, you go into mental health, you go into the physical asana, which is the physical practice, and all of that. And I was like, damn. Like, and then I've signed up for a yoga therapy session for myself. And like after going to therapy, taking like that was prescribed Xanax twice a day, trazodone once a day. And I was on Celexa. Excuse me. And like what I got from that one session was far more than I had ever gotten from any talk therapy and any medication.
Wow.
So,
do you need to take a drink? Just
no.
You want me to get it for you? Okay.
That was the little gagging thing that I talk about.
Okay.
So
yeah,
a little anxious talking about it.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
So did that session. I was like, oh my God, I really need to get certified in this because that was something that I really felt called to. So did that. Also have a separate coaching certification. And then I was a corporate coach for like the majority of my 6-year tenure at Geico. So, and they use the GROW model, which is, it's a really effective model, especially when you're trying to identify root causes and ineffective behaviors. So I've, like, with my practice now, I've included all of that into like one.
Love that.
So, like, done my own healing work, and then now I kind of hold space for healing of others. So it is really a full circle kind of moment.
It is.
And I really do love what I do.
And I really do admire that because, I've been on my own healing journey this last, 3 years now. And, but I can't think outside of the box to trigger it into other people. You know what I mean? It's like I are focusing on other people. It's like such a personal thing for me still. So it just, I admire you and you inspire me that you did go through the steps, you did heal, and now you're helping other people to heal. And I mean, healing is a constant journey. We're constantly healing.
Like,
you're never healed.
So many days. Like last week I was so depressed.
Yeah.
And this week I'm kind of back on track, but it and you're right, it is consistent. Like you're constantly have to remind yourself of, I'm not there anymore. Like, I'm in a safe space now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not in my childhood anymore.
Yeah. And I don't know if it helps you, but for me, it's like certain words, like to say the word rape, you know what I mean? That was a hard word for me to say for so many years. And now I can just say it. And the reason why is because I want to own that word. I don't want to market that word as any other word than what it is, because of the fact that then I'm giving it power. I don't want to give that word power. I have the power,
You really just spoke some truth there.
Yeah.
Like, we have to reclaim our identity.
We do.
And just because, like, you were raped doesn't mean that you are that's your personality.
Right.
That's what you are now.
Yeah.
Like, you're a victim.
It's a part of my story.
It's a part of your story, and it's part of your journey.
Yeah.
And, like, you've learned a lot from that journey too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, not saying that it was supposed to happen, but
no, but then I can also help other people who are closer to that status than I am. You know what I mean? Because that word doesn't own me anymore, but it still owns some people.
It does.
A lot of people. And so, it's just fun being able to just talk about these things with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they are a part of our past, and they are gonna like slip up and grab us every now and then, and we're like, wait, that's not my story anymore. I'm on a different journey.
Amen. Yep.
We're moving forward.
Yeah. And practice makes permanent, right?
Yeah.
Like, I grew up with the same practice makes perfect, but then I was like, no one's perfect.
Yep.
And that's something that my choir teacher taught us in high school, because muscles have memory.
Yeah.
Right. Your brain is one of the strongest muscles in your body.
Oh yeah.
And like, if you keep practicing, like, I'm in this victim, like, I'm a rape person. I'm a person that was raped.
Yeah, I'm a victim.
And while that is still true, if you wake up every day and you start to reclaim your journey, and you tell yourself that I'm worthy of love, I'm worthy of all these things, then you're starting to
change it.
You're changing it.
Yeah.
It's like recoding a program that's running in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to rewire your brain.
Yeah, our brain is so powerful and it's so strong, and I've learned so much about that in the last 3 years, you know what I mean, of keeping yourself stuck because you're allowing yourself to be your own victim, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things I'll talk about now. It's like hard for me to have much tolerance for victims because we got to move on. I'm at victim mentality.
Yeah.
Where you're just going to stay stuck in that.
And it's totally okay.
Because you can't help another person.
Right. Like, it's totally okay to
be in a moment.
Mourn the person that you were before that.
Yeah.
Right?
And be in a moment. It's okay to be in that moment, but you can't stay in that moment.
Yeah.
You have to move on from that.
Yeah.
You have to keep on growing. I mean, even when you're in a moment of happiness, where you're hanging out and you're like, oh, I'm so happy here. Well, if you stay stuck at that level of happiness and you don't grow into the next step, you're eventually going to get stagnant. You're eventually no longer going to be happy. You're eventually
bored.
Yeah, you're eventually going to start looking at the negative parts of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you constantly have to be like moving forward and looking forward, looking to the positive, you know?
Yeah, healing, like, I read this quote, and it goes something along the lines of, healing isn't about being able to enjoy what you once thought was you.
Yeah.
It's about being able to enjoy the present and the future.
That's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And that's something that I have to remind myself of very frequently.
Yeah.
You know, because you're always healing, and you're always going to have those thoughts pop up.
And I think for you, it's got to be really hard to stay positive since the fact that you had to go back into that situation where it's even rougher now, you know? Rougher. I don't think it's really a word, but you know what? I make my own words.
Yeah.
No, like I like overheard someone saying that. Like I was around, I don't know where we were, and I was like, not eavesdropping, but you know, I'm
listening.
focus issues. So I focus always on the things I'm not supposed to. And I overheard some people talking about just this and that, and like what they wore and makeup and who they were when they were younger. I guess they've been friends for years. And one of them said, if you are not looking back on what you've been doing and you don't cringe, then you're not growing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, I like that.
Yeah. It's powerful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's cool. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Like,
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah.
for being vulnerable and sharing that with us, because I can see it happening right now. Like, you're sharing your story and you're opening up to us, but you're also facilitating. That's
Yeah.
twice now.
Yeah.
We've like kind of unwrapped
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's really cool. You're
We-
really good at this. You might have a career in this.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like with my clients, like when I'm talking to them and like I'm coaching them through situations, like I don't really tell them my story,
Yeah.
right? But I let them know that like I have been in similar situations.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why like people kind of come into my life and they're looking for something, like they're trying to attach and suck my energy out, you know?
Yeah.
And like as a healer facilitator, right?
love
Because I don't
that.
like the word healer, because I'm not. But like I hold the space,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? They like people are just attracted to you, and they wanna come in, they wanna learn more about you, but it's not in the right intentions. So, I try not to tell my too much to my clients, just because you know there are people that come in with certain intentions,
Bad
other than
intentions,
just to get the benefits of the session.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're better than I am. I'm like, I blow my load.
Ooh. Where?
That's a joke we were having earlier, so I figured I might as well just slip it on in.
Slip it on into the podcast.
No, I will just be like, here's my story. I'll tell anybody. I don't care anymore. But it was part of me healing. I feel like mainly I kept so many secrets for so long. Now I'm like, I want to be the opposite.
Yeah. Like, and you've got to protect your peace.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I've learned is that, so like I deleted my old Facebook and I created a new one because people were literally using what I posted against me.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There goes that social anxiety.
The social anxiety.
Yeah.
And like they were using it against me, and they would literally like send it to my boss.
Jeez.
My boss's boss. And I'm like, y'all, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So I deleted that Facebook and I created a new one, and I just added the friends that I knew that I could trust.
Yeah.
And because I want to be able to show up authentic on social media as well. You know, like I made a post a few weeks, maybe a month or two ago, about like how I will always post the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that no one's perfect. Like
Right.
this is the journey, and this is my journey, and I want to be able, my outlet is to be able to share it with
Yeah.
other people. So
But that can help other people heal, you know.
And
I
it
mean, that's like the
does.
whole point of this, as I can't even talk, but the whole point of this podcast is the fact that we wanted to share people's stories so that way it's going to resonate with somebody. Somebody's story is going to resonate with somebody else, and it's going to help somebody else along the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if they see somebody, if all they see on social media is this perfect life
Right.
that this yoga teacher has, then
How do they relate?
how they're not going to be able to relate.
Yeah.
Right.
Or feel comfortable. They may not feel comfortable coming in.
And that's the thing is
Yeah.
that like a lot of my clients, they're seeking services because they're in their own journey and they're trying to find an outlet to help them heal
Yeah.
and to help them process these things. And like I mean, like peer to peer is one of the best things, right? Like I think like when you're in alcohol recovery, someone that's gone through it is the best. What do they
Yeah.
call them? Like mentors or something?
Well, and they have the Celebrate Recovery, you know, where it's just a bunch of them together, you
Yeah.
know, to kind of
sponsor.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
A
sponsor.
sponsor.
That's
Yeah,
what it
that's the word.
is.
Like they have a sponsor that has gone through it. And that's one of the best ways because is that person really going to listen to someone that's never been through
No,
what they've been
Right.
through?
no.
No, I'm not going to do that.
That's why I just always tell my story because I
Yeah.
know I figured there's somebody out there that's going to have a story that's similar to mine, and
Right.
it's hard because you know you're going to have people who are going to come at you like, "Oh, that's not how it went."
You shouldn't
or,
post
You shouldn't
that.
post that. You know what I mean?
It's not
But
professional of you.
yeah,
All these
but
things.
you know, and I own a business too, so
Mm-hmm.
there's a big part of me that I try to stay PC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
And I've stopped sharing politics and stuff like that.
that's the stuff with me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I meet somebody new, like I'm not the same person the first time I met you when we came here.
Same.
That you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
we all have to come in with our professional face.
Yeah.
And I think we were all a little bit guarded too because we tried to meet up multiple times and it just never really happened. And
Yeah.
I think there was a part of us that didn't know what energy we were going to bring.
Yeah.
So when we finally met each other and it was like, what have we been waiting on?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
We were meant to be together all the time, you
And
know?
it's funny because y'all messaged me when I was working for someone else.
Yes.
At a different wellness
Yeah,
business.
yes.
And y'all were like, oh,
we
wanna
shouldn't name drop,
connect.
but well, they're not even here anymore, so it doesn't
Well,
even matter.
they're down the street from
Oh, never mind,
here
just
in
kidding.
Macon.
Oh,
The
just
one
kidding.
The one in Winter Robins is no
Okay.
longer there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, and I really wanted to meet with y'all then.
Yeah.
But even then, I was restricted on what I was able to do.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we met when we were all meant to meet
same.
because
Yeah,
we were
divine
all,
timing is a real thing.
Yeah. We were all ready to like blow the load.
Blow the load. Yep.
Well, could you tell us a little bit about what that looks like, facilitating someone's healing journey through yoga and stretch therapy?
Yeah, so a lot of times it's just listening to them.
Okay.
Right? So we start off with the new client assessment, which is a dosha assessment. And it goes through it literally goes through your entire body. So it's got the mental, the physical. It goes through your teeth, your body size, your bone size, your elimination.
Is this Ayurveda?
It is Ayurvedic medicine. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm sorry, I'm nerding out a little bit.
Yeah.
To put
Now she's fangirling.
Right. So to put things in perspective, 200-hour yoga teacher training is like your associate's degree.
Okay.
Your 500-hour is like your bachelor's. And then your 800 hours, your master's.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to become an Ayurvedic doctor, that is the doctorate level.
Okay.
Right? So like I'm like, they say it's an equivalent to a master's degree kind of thing, or the knowledge that goes into it, right? So it is Ayurvedic medicine. We start off with a dosha assessment. You've got your vata, your pitta, and your kapha, and y'all can, I mean, if you're wondering what that is on the podcast, you can look it up. There's really good resources out there. There's so much to go into depth. I'll be speaking for hours. But yeah, it goes through your entire body, your dreams, your elimination, your physical, your mental, how much you sleep, your diet, all these
Dang,
things.
I need to do this.
Yeah,
I've
I've got a sheet in there. So we start off with that, and then it allows, like, after your session, I kind of look into it a little bit more, and I develop a yoga therapy plan, and it includes so many things. So it's got your daily mindfulness practice, your breath work. So when you wake up, what are you telling yourself? Mm-hmm. Right, super important. Are you waking up and you're immediately going, or are you giving yourself time and you're giving yourself grace? Mm-hmm. Are you starting your day off with physical exercise? Are you eating protein in the mornings, right? Because when you eat protein in the mornings, your mental health will be better throughout the day. Scientifically proven.
You all know Sarah is, because if not, I will die on the vine with that.
Yeah, and like, I was thinking, when I was taking this training and I was learning that, and I was like, damn, like, I wasn't eating breakfast at all, and if I was, it was a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
What nutritional value does that have? None. And coffee is so bad for you. Like, especially for your mental health. No, don't go breaking my heart. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm striking a nerve there. But, like, coffee is so bad for you, especially when you're dependent on it.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
because
dependent on it.
If you're looking to reduce your anxiety and your depression,
yeah,
stop drinking coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that is one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself. Start your day with a glass of water. It will give you the same thing. Maybe some B12. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So anyways, go through the daily plan. It includes your every morning exercises, mental and physical. Then you go into your diet, and I'll give you like recommendations on what to eat. And then you've got your yoga practice, and then because stretch therapy is one of the things I do, I also include your monthly sessions. With that, like if you're coming in every 2 weeks, every week, whatever that may be, because that's your self-care, right?
Yeah.
Where you don't have to do nothing but just sit there and relax. And then, yeah, that was a lot. I think that's pretty much it off the top of my head.
I really love this. And we did your dosha before.
We did do my dosha. That's right.
We should do it again.
Yeah, we should.
It can change, like depending on what your external factors are and things like that. And the reason I love it so much is it is kind of like the sister on the other side of Western medicine to like functional medicine. Because at the end of the day, it kind of makes you more mindful, I feel like.
Yeah. It does.
And it's also a great... like it's like the stairs in the pool versus the diving board for somebody who's never done anything with like energy work, wellness, massage, especially if they have more of an analytical mind and they come in with maybe preconceived notions and they are like not ready to jump all the way in. When you kind of have that layout like that, it lets them kind of use that part of their brain to say, oh, okay, well, this isn't as intimidating or as out woo-woo as I thought it was, you know?
And like Ayurvedic medicine, it was here before Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
It's literally what every other medical practice is based on.
Yeah.
Because where we have like in our society, we have all the pharmaceuticals, they have their herbs. Right, and that was used as pharmaceuticals. Before, and there's far less side effects from using herbs than there is pharmaceuticals. Now, y'all don't go mixing pharmaceuticals and herbs together because you can like make toxic blood. Where you can die and like sepsis is a thing. But yeah, like because it's how the chemicals react, the herbs and the chemicals together. It can do some pretty dangerous stuff, but that's why you gotta get somebody that knows what they're doing, like me. But
the one and
like
only
St. John's wort is super toxic if you use it with certain things.
Yeah, I've heard that.
like there's a Grey's Anatomy episode where this lady had been using herbs, but she was also taking like an antipsychotic medicine.
Yeah.
And they put her in the operating room, and when they opened her up, the doctor started passing out because it was toxic.
I remember that episode.
Yep.
But I mean, you're referencing, Hollywood, but they were really good about actually using real life things. That was one thing that show prided themselves on, you know.
I will say, working in a hospital now, there's not a single doctor on any of those floors
that look like that, right? Like mixed me.
No, they don't look like, they're not there at all. It's all the nurses. Those nurses run the hospital.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, nurses save the world.
Yeah,
every
they
minute
do.
of the
They
day.
do.
In Grey's Anatomy, who's doing the chest compressions?
Yeah.
The doctors.
Yeah.
But those nurses are the
They're
ones that are
doing
actually
it.
doing it in real life.
Yeah, it's the truth. I mean, in delivering babies, my nurses were the ones. I mean, the doctor just comes in basically to catch it and
And leave.
slap its ass and leave.
Yeah.
And they need to be treated right.
Literally, the doctor only comes to pronounce time of death.
Yeah.
And I work in the ICU, so
You went dark real fast.
I mean, full circle, right?
I got to circle back though. One thing is I didn't think Ren could fall in love with you anymore, but then you said the A word, and oh man,
happening. Our relationship has progressed so quickly.
Yes, it really has. And then just a little inside joke. Remember when you guys put me in the trunk, and I was reaching.
You're into some kinky shit.
I love this girl.
Were you tied up?
Well, I say that's the only way I want to go into the trunk. It better be. I mean, it's got to be full.
Handcuffed and all.
Yeah.
But I want to be the only body. Thank you.
Put me in a tight space.
But yeah, I think it's so cool. I remember learning it in school, and it was like that was it. I was hooked. I was fascinated.
Because in the beauty industry, like Ayurveda is a big thing. Like
It's a big thing. She's kind of in.
Yeah.
Like Aveda is a whole brand, and that's based off of Ayurvedic medicine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved Aveda in Colorado because I don't think they knew how to teach it very well. So I had a lot of Aveda clientele.
Yeah.
Fix it clientele. I built my whole entire clientele and hair clientele in Colorado.
Yeah,
because
you did hair before, right?
I did hair before. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Do you still cut hair?
The kids.
The answer's
The
no.
kids, the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm
My
only
own.
asking
My
'cause
own. Even though he gets mad at me about it.
I go to Great Clips.
Oh.
But they did a good job the last time.
Yeah.
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 They just smell like cigarettes.
You got to go to Upper Tier and try Ashton.
Yeah.
He's like the best barber.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've never been to a barber.
You haven't?
You deserve it.
Yeah.
I'm not a barber, so I would be the one that.
Yeah. Why have a burger when you can have a steak? You know.
I love a steak, but I also love a burger with bacon.
Hey, I do love a good burger too. So,
The
sometimes you just
rookery.
need that. Oh, they have the best burger in this
Yes.
area. I mean,
I like the Jimmy Carter.
yeah, and so does my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 15-year-old, he likes that one. I don't know which one I like.
Yeah, they're all pretty good.
But I mean, all their burgers are so good. And their milkshakes are really good too.
Girl, the way I had one of their alcoholic milkshakes, I chugged it and I should not have. I projectile vomited all over the back.
Well, all that sugar too.
Yes. And I had taken a THC gummy
Oh my
before,
gosh.
and they, like, the manager was like, "Get him out." And my friend was like, "We're trying to get him out. What do you want me to do? He's puking."
You were like cross-faded.
I was cross-faded.
We call
girl.
that a shake and bake.
Oh, yeah. Shake and bake me, girl. But yeah, for the record, I don't do that anymore. For those
yeah.
people that
Don't come at me.
don't come at me.
I'm
but
clean and healthy now.
I am an advocate for it. Like, I'm totally for it. Like, that's how I got
THC.
off of that's
Yeah.
how I got off of all my antipsychotics.
Oh yeah.
Because I still needed something. I was so mentally unstable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when Geico let me go, I threw my laptop at the building.
Dang.
Yeah. It was in its case. You know, I don't know what happened to
And
it.
you're just processing your feelings.
They probably thought it was a bomb because they had pissed 2,000 people off. But you know, that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And Like, but that's how I came off of all of those things, and I was able to get off of the Xanax, the Trazodone, and the Celexa. And coming off of antipsychotics, like, is one of the worst things.
Oh, I've heard. I've never experienced it, but I have heard some horror stories.
So, like, for me, I was in the bed for days.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
No,
you're fine.
So
We're talking about a lot of traumatic things, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's,
yeah, I mean,
Heart.
traumatic, a trauma response.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, so I was in bed for days, like weeks, and thank God I didn't have a job at that time, because I don't think I would not have been able to do it at all. Like, and when you're coming off of like antipsychotics, the best way I can explain it is brain spurts. Like, it's like electrical zaps in your brain, because it's literally rewiring your brain.
Yeah.
And I did my best to dose down. Like, I had like, I want to say like 14 or 15 days left of my Celexa. And it was one of those pills that like has the little balls of medicine inside of it.
Oh, like the time release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I broke those apart and made them last for another 30 days total. But I was literally like licking my finger and putting it down in the thing and putting that on my tongue, and that was it.
Wow.
But the brain spurts were horrible, and it's like a headache, like a severe migraine, but with electrical impulses. It's like somebody put a TENS unit on your head.
Yeah.
My migraines are kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can kind of relate a little bit.
And it'll go from like one side to the other.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Mine are
wild.
usually front to back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, going back to the weed advocacy, I agree 100%. You know, that's the only thing. I've tried so many migraine medicines, and they make me, like, puke like no other.
Right.
I mean, it's like terrible puking.
When you can just take a gummy, or you can
Yeah.
do one toke of something and like be totally fine.
And now, like, you know, when I was in Colorado, that's how I discovered it. My ex actually was like, because I'd get these terrible migraines, and he'd be like, maybe you should go and just see if they can hook you up with something, you know?
Right.
You go to the dispensaries, and they've gotten so good about, like, cross-growing and all of this kind of stuff, you know?
They have a strain for everything.
Yes, and I go in, and I'm like, okay, I don't like this with weed. I don't like to feel a head change. I am doing this for a migraine. I just basically want to pass out and go to sleep because I
they're
can't
like,
sleep with a migraine.
We've got this.
Yes, and then they give you this, and I do. I have my 2 strains that I know I can get,
Yeah.
and one's harder to get than the other one, and I can just take a little toke and go to sleep. That's all I need, like half a toke. It's not even.
It's not even a full bong or anything. Or
no,
a joint.
I do the one hitters. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I do the one hitters, and then you just take one little puff off of it, and I could just lay down, and it makes my head feel like 10 million times better, and I can actually sleep. I mean, I can get a migraine that lasts for 5 days, and during that 5 days, I can't eat or sleep hardly anything. Right. You know what I mean? It's just you're in so much pain.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, like, since we're talking about it, like, there is a thing called hypercannabinosis, I think is what it's called. It's literally where you've used too much. But that's typically when you're using it every day, multiple times a day. Like, you'll vomit every day, and like there was a time where I had it. I didn't know what it was, but like I was waking up throwing up, but I would wake up and I would hit it, and then I would get in the shower and I'd hit it before I'd leave, and then I'd have my pen throughout the day, and then I'd come home and I'd hit it. And then I'd hit it before dinner. I'd hit it before I go to bed, and then repeat the process.
Yeah.
That's too much, right? Like, everything in moderation is super good.
Yeah. When you abuse anything, it becomes bad.
It does.
Yeah.
And it can induce psychosis. Like, it really can. So y'all just be wary of that whenever...
Yeah.
You know, don't take it too far.
But it has a time and a place, you know
It
what I
does.
mean? And I think it could be used in medicinal purposes, and it's not being used. I wish it would.
Yeah.
It was, because I feel like it's a lot more natural than...
It is. And, like, now there is, like, if you're getting it from a dispensary, the the dispensaries have lab results, so you can know exactly what's in it. So you're not getting like anything with fentanyl or anything that's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But
We are having battery issues, so we're going to have to wrap this up. But I feel like we got to do this again because I can seriously, I mean, I think Ren probably feels the same way.
Oh, I still have so many questions.
And we can talk to you all
We might have
day.
to make this. We might have to make this a 2-parter, like for real.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have to come back and do more.
for sure.
Yeah. But we just love you. You are such a doll. And I just hope anybody who hears this, that they take the time to just see what you're all about and come do some healing, come do some stretching.
Amen.
I mean, the muscle memory is a real thing.
It is.
Healing is a journey we never fully accomplish, but we can get better at it.
Yep.
And I really appreciate you again, like opening up and sharing this with us, and being so open and vulnerable.
Yes.
Because I dare to say I don't know if you would be the same practitioner if you hadn't gone through the sucky stuff.
I
agree.
feel like that just with doing facials.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like I am better because I suffer from neck and back pain.
Yeah.
So when I go at a client, I'm going at it with the same intention I would want somebody to go with me if they
Yeah.
have tension, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I mean, our pain sucks, and what we have to go through is not fun when you're in it. But when you come out of that valley, it's like a whole new world. You
Right.
know what I mean? And it makes everything better. So
Amen.
it's all about that balancing.
It is.
Yeah. You want to shout out your socials?
Oh yeah, so my personal page is Leif Yoga Therapy, Leif, and then Yoga Therapy, and then my business page is called Evolve Holistic Studio, and you can find that on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah, I love it. And do you guys you don't have a website, do you, or do you?
We use our booking system,
Okay.
so
And what is your booking system? How can they find you if they wanted to book?
So if do not go through Fresha Marketplace, they will charge a new client fee. So just go to our socials, and our links to book are on there. And you can also Google us. We're Evolve Holistic Studio.
Yeah, and you guys are located in Macon, but I see that you guys do some events all throughout Middle Georgia too, which is awesome.
Yeah. And next time we come up here, we should try to do I don't know, maybe if we could go to yoga tomorrow night, or if we do the aerial yoga or something like that. Let's
sure.
do some filming and, stretching. This one wants to be stretched by you so bad.
Oh.
I don't know if you could stretch him.
I
Can you
can.
stretch him?
Yeah.
I'm confident.
Yeah. So is Leif. So we're good.
I'm used to the big boys.
I love it.
So,
All right, Leif. Well, we just adore you and thank you so much.
Yes,
I
thank
think
you. We love you.
even
Thank
though we
y'all
don't
for
want
having
to, that's a wrap. You got
Period.
places to be and
yeah.
people to do and things to see.
People to do. What did you say earlier?
Blow the load.
Period.
That's a wrap.